I want to go back to this question for a second about how do I find influencers as a brand that aligns with my values, audience, product fit, etc. Because I touched on it in my last video, but I didn't really spell it out. So I want to do this again. There's this idea in influencer marketing called the 3 R's, which stands for reach, resonance, and relevance. I talked about reach in my last video about the more followers, the more likely you are to be seen by those followers. It's a good thing. And I typically don't notice a channel unless it's like a very niche product or something or other. I wouldn't probably reach out to a channel, whether it's YouTube, a publisher, and there are different metrics that correspond to the medium or the platform or whatever. But I want to say around 10,000 followers is where it's like, okay, they take this seriously. They've posted more than 100 videos. And those videos have been consistent, not like 100 in a week and then nothing for 5 years. And it's been, like I said, there's at least 100 videos and it's been consistent. And there's also, beyond the reach, the resonance. There's engagement there. People are liking and sharing and commenting and saving and signing up for notifications and watching. Or if it's a blog, there's unique monthly visitors, or there's more email signups, or the open rate percentage is above 20, something like that. So reach, for obvious reasons, is a good thing. Resonance is arguably more important than reach, because even if you have 1 million followers and no one's paying attention to you, does it matter? How is your product going to benefit in any way? It's kind of just like a front for something weirder that's going on. Anyway, resonance is more important. And there was a rule I mentioned in a different video, this notion of 5%, where 5% of the total following is engaging, and 5% of those engaging, like watching the views, are probably commenting. Sorry, it's a little confusing. Those are two different. Commenting is even more than viewing, and viewing is even more important than the potential to view. You see what I'm saying? And then from there, another action, another form of engagement. So 5% who commented maybe clicks on the link and goes to your website and performs some kind of action. So 5% of the web traffic actually signs up for an email or makes a purchase or whatever the goal was. But I don't want to get too far into that for now, because it's an odd. I would say if 5% kind of becomes the magic number, is like the floor versus the ceiling for any goal you have. Like, oh, they have 1 million followers and they average 100,000 views. Maybe 5% of those 100,000 views comment, and then that percentage goes to my site. Or it depends. It depends. So don't get hung up on this 5% rule right now, but reach, resonance, and then relevance, obviously. And I definitely touched on that in the last video where I'm wearing this gray sweatshirt, saying relevance. If it's a cooking channel and you're selling drum sets, what the hell is that about? You know, it needs to be the right product fit, the right audience fit for the product, I should say. And I would even take it a step further and ask the creator, like, what are your audience demographics and YouTube analytics or whatever the platform may be? Like, what do they say about your audience? You want age, gender, maybe, depending on the situation, and location, probably. Because when I worked at one company, they were USA only. So working with a creator who had a vast majority of followers in Europe wasn't especially helpful. Or working with a creator whose biggest bracket ages 12 to 18 or something, they're not going to be buying a $5,000 drum set, probably. So know more about that audience, but ask them about like their interests. And when you're evaluating as a brand, a creator channel, I find the creator, like I said in the last video, pretending to be the customer. But once I'm there and I've used the 3 R's, then I filter by their content as most popular and see what shows up. And keep in mind timing, because some of the most popular videos might just be the oldest. They've had the longest time to grow. But then other videos, they're viral. Like, there's an idea there. Something happened. What was it? Spend time really researching this. Was there a trend going on TikTok, for instance? Or when it was YouTube, did they do a video review of a product that had just been released? Or was this like a hit song that they covered? Or like, why was this so successful? Did it get shared? Did they have links going to this elsewhere? Maybe it was, and it's not always especially obvious that like maybe a company, maybe the producer of the song, like the original artist, reshared their cover on Twitter and it got picked up out of control. Or like a news outlet liked their review and reused it for affiliate purposes, doing a product review, and was like, oh, we don't have time to do a product review. We'll just use this guy's video. And that created a bunch of new leads and views and backlink equity. And I could go on forever about this. But really try to understand what works and how you can replicate the format. And when you start talking to them, I really like these videos, and here's why, especially if the creator's like, well, what are your goals? The goals in my mind, at minimum, if you don't sell direct, the goals are probably views, and also having the opportunity to reuse the content. Like I've said in the past, maybe have them join your affiliate program, maybe have the usage rights to the content, not only for resharing organically, but through paid means, like whitelisting, for forming a better relationship with the creator. It could be another goal in reaching out. And as a creator, if you're watching, you should want a long-term relationship with these brands. Like start slow, like just do one campaign or a series. Like don't try to do it all necessarily, but like get a feel for, do you like the product? Do you like the brand? Do you like the person you're working with? What were the performance results? That's a separate video I should make because there's a lot of criteria involved with that. But when a brand's looking and qualifying the channel, these are the kinds of things I would look for. Is the video high quality? Are the thumbnails good? Are the titles good? Did they take the time to write a description, or did they just like put in their channel links and a bunch of hashtags and wish you the best of luck? Like there's this idea of best practices, which means good thumbnail, like I said, good quality audio and visual, title, description. But I would also argue using things like video tags on the back end people wouldn't see, but like pinning comment on YouTube for people with cell phones, whether or not they have like affiliate links or product links or something like that in the descriptions to help the viewer know where to go if they're interested in learning more or making a purchase or whatever. All of these characteristics are indicators of a good potential partner from a brand point of view. So I hope this was helpful.